All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to the episode of Full Body Cast Presents Garage Night. Garage Night brought to you by Bordeaux Wine Bar, Mazatlan, and then some brewing company. Shoot. I don't know. It'll come to me. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Cole Street Brew, 1627 Cole Street. Say hi to Sean. Wear your gear. Get some discounts in some areas. The other thing is we're really wanting to go back to tagging. So if you go out, post, you don't have to post a picture of yourself if you don't want to, but tag yourself in, use hashtag FullBuddyCast, do that at Bordeaux Wine Bar as well, and then they'll give you $2 off your first drink or first flight. So anyway, Garage Night, we got Craig Bentley on the mic.
Hola, buenos dias.
Oh, gosh. And Corey Bentley, he's not here. That was me doing my Corey impression. So we just got Craig Bentley and me.
Man down.
Man down. Repeat, man down.
I don't like it either. I like sitting here.
No, we would have included. I got to turn that off and turn this off and turn that off and turn this off and turn that off and turn this off and turn that off. All right, we've got Skarey Skelleys. Ooh,
starting off right off the bat.
Yeah, we got. No, I'm just saying we got content.
Oh, I got you.
We're gonna talk about the Full Buddy Friday night that we had a couple weeks back, because I don't think we've been able to talk about that yet.
We have not.
Right, and then we'll fill in the blanks. So, your wife messaged me yesterday as well.
She did tell me that. Yes.
Yeah. So, and it was at night, and it started with a U. You up? No, she said. Well, we'll talk about that too as well. Now, this weather, I'm going to rant about this weather. This weather's been crappy. I hate it. Has it been affecting your fast pitch life?
Yes, up until this week, and it'll affect it next week because we have a whole bunch of makeup games because of all the rain. So, yes, rain sucks.
Yeah.
This time of year.
How many games have you been able to get in?
Well, right now I'm not coaching. I'm talking about high school ball.
Oh, that's right. We got to talk about Sid's cool thing that happened yesterday too.
That was actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the high school is getting games in.
Okay.
So those are the makeup games I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah. That you're as a dad, not a coach.
Correct.
You're having to make and do all, which isn't that big of a deal. I guess it's not really making the team or like making the games. That's easy for you.
Oh yeah,
because
my job allows me to be able to get to the games on time.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So yesterday, though, your wife posted a video. Now, how many home runs has Sid hit?
In school ball?
In school ball.
0.
Oh, so that was her first home. Not only her first home run, but her first grand salami.
Yeah, because she is a sophomore, and she played varsity as a freshman, but not a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
This year, she's getting a little bit more involved. So, yeah, it was good. It was good to see.
Was it a proud dad moment?
It was a proud dad moment.
It's going to be those. I think it's going to be one of those things where, and I'm sure you've witnessed it a few times, but that memory is going to stick in your mind for like ever.
And I told her that too. I go, this is something that, a lot of people don't get to say. You hit a grand slam during a school sport on a varsity team. It's something you should remember forever.
Ever.
Yeah, just keep bringing it up, kind of like somebody does all the time.
Hey,
about
listen,
their high school thing.
If you can accomplish something in high school, this is for all those people that are listening in high school. Hold on to those things. Speaking of holding on, your wife.
Yes.
So this weather sucks, but the cool thing is, our people are still wearing hoodies. Now I'm like, what's my next thing? Is it going to be T-shirts? I already have T-shirts out there, right? So is it going to be hats? Maybe it'll be hats. Maybe be polos. I know that Seth and a few others are pushing for that since they can wear it golfing. But anyway, the decent thing right now is that people are wearing their hoodies again. We had a big hoodie-a-thon. People posting pictures wearing hoods. And then your wife sent me this yesterday. She said, hold on, I gotta go through a few messages. There we go. Not hers, but others. I went into Runlands the other day wearing the Full Body Cast sweatshirt. The lady behind the counter asked me if I had listened to it because it was recommended by Seth. which I got to talk to Seth about that. I wonder who he was talking to. I told her my husband was part of the Garage Night podcast. She immediately threw me out. No, no, just kidding. She said it was pretty good, but not really geared towards women. She makes a fair point, which is, yeah, and that's true. And I said, I guess we need you on. And she said, nope.
Yeah.
So
she did. She came home and actually told me that what went on and what was said. And I said, well, if you have a complaint, file it with the person that runs the podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. But I mean, more girl content would be good. That's always nice. We used to do the premenopods, but this last week we released one. It was a after hours Friday night where we had come back here, Desi B and Shekinah Sarver and I. We recorded like midnight till like 1:30 a.m. And so maybe we'll get some more of those out there. Sarah M. Johnson's been on a few times. That's been nice. We've got a Holly one in the back. So I don't know, maybe we could, Cosmopolitan. We could just read we could read 25 sex tricks to keep your husbands involved in your life, or
we could just get some more female participation and ask them what they want us to talk about.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about it, they'll never want us to talk about it again.
Exactly. But yeah, that'd be good. That's great. That's a great idea. We could do where women ask, and then we answer that in a way where, yeah, they'll just stop asking.
Yeah.
That actually might be kind of fun. So,
life hack for guys listening.
Yes, for sure. In fact, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Skelly, he put together some things here. We're going to get that in a second, but he must have read the room about some, husband-wife type questions. So, the next thing was that Full Buddy Friday night was fun. My wife was out of town. She was on a girls' trip. Girls' trips are scary for me as a man. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Girls' trips, in my mind, they go just to... We're going to put an E on this one. So, bitch. The girls get together, they drink wine, they eat bonbons, and they just bitch. Then they bitch about their husbands. They just complain. That's what I picture. I get really insecure when the girls have girls. Oh, we have a girls trip. Oh, 4 days of you guys just talking about how horrible we are. Well, no, we don't talk about how horrible. Well, yeah, when you come back, I hear some stories. You know what guys do? Guys go and they hang out, they play, but we don't bitch, man. We brag. We brag about our wives. We brag about them. Like, for instance, I told this story, actually, I was at Bordeaux, and it was me and Jamie, and Shekinah was sitting there. I was complaining about this, and there was a table nearby. They were listening, and they're eavesdropping. They laughed, because it's true. They heard me say this, and I'll say it now. Girls would be like this. They'll be sitting there drinking their wine, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, oh, gosh, can you believe it? Oh, blah, 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 blah. This guy, my husband, my boyfriend, da, 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 da. He wanted me to tease his butthole. Oh, gross! That's disgusting. See, Craig just made a face.
I did.
He made a horrible face. He's like, "Why am I on this thing right now?"
It's so loud. Is what's going on here?
Yeah, but then, guys go to their guys trips, and they're like drinking beers around the campfire or the pool. They're like, oh, dude, guess what my girlfriend or my wife did the other day? She teased my butthole. It was awesome. So it's like, it's the same topic, but it's one's telling it from one version.
I'd like to know what guys trip you're going on that you're sharing that all the time.
Oh, man, you don't share. What do you guys share about? Have you guys had your Sun Lakes trip?
No, it's going to be coming up in a week.
I dare you. I triple dog dare you.
There's no reason for that. No reason.
Okay, how about this? Will you do this for me at least? You won't.
Maybe. I'll say yes.
Okay. Will you just notice the conversation? I pay attention to how the conversations go. Are the guys mostly complaining about their wives, or are they bragging about their wives? Just don't have to answer now.
What if you don't talk about your wives at all?
Then that's to me good. Women are complaining about their husbands, though.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are some women that take trips and do the forget about everything that they just left at home, husband and kids.
Ooh.
I think that happens also. I mean, that to me, that's what the trip is.
is just getting away from the.
So there might be some bitching about your husband, but I really would. I feel like a woman's trip or whatever you want to call it, they're just forgetting about everything. They could care less what you're doing at home. They could care less what the kids are doing, and they're just done with everything.
They're just out there living their best life.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Pillow fights and just painting toenails, drinking wine, giggling, playing MASH.
Just like they were in high school. That's what I picture in my head. I don't care how old they are. They could be women in their 60s that have been doing it for 40 years. They act just like they were in high school. That's my picture.
That's true. That's what we got you on here, Craig.
Contrast.
Yeah, mine. Well, one guy told me this. Hey, whatever you're afraid of somebody else doing is probably what you're doing, right? Right. So I think
makes sense.
Yeah, if you're afraid of something, then it's because it's on your radar, and maybe that's what. So maybe I do complain about my wife, and so I just assume she's complaining about me.
Well, I would assume your wife complains about you also. And we're talking in generalization here, but if it was specifically your wife, then yes.
Not a big leap. Not a big leap of figuring that one out. Dial 445 and text yes. If I'm just kidding about that. All right, so that's good. That's a women programming right there.
It is.
And women, if you're listening, comment on this episode. Amanda, Holly, Desi, the ladies out there that are listening, and if you're Sasha, if you're a lady out there that listens, that kind of, still, I want to know. What do you guys, when you guys go on your girls' trips, what do you guys talk about? Do you guys complain? Do you guys brag? Do you guys just drink? And like what Craig said, you just live your life as if you didn't have and that's, I guess that's kind of the other scary thing. That's scary for me as a husband. It's like, well, our dude's hitting on you. Like that's because these girls groups, they're large. They're not like 3 chicks mostly. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like a bachelorette party, but they're married. Well, no, that's the thing. Half of them are married. The other half are single, and the other half are like separated or engaged. And so they're in the transition phase. So it's like, man, like you throw all 7 of those women out there. One's going to want to go out. The other ones want to stay in. The other ones want to go to read a book. The other one wants to go clubbing. Like you've got this mix. And so everyone kind of does what they want to do, but they do it as a group. So it's like, all right, yeah, well, Tuesday we'll sit in and eat bonbons, but Wednesday we're going hard. We're going to go talk to some guys.
Wing women.
Yes. Wing women. Anyway, one trick. Here's another thing. Cosmopolitan Kenny trick 25 for you guys out there, gals out there. If you're looking for, actually guys too, if you're a girl group going out for the weekend, wine country, or guy group going out golf country, okay? And you have some single men and you're wanting to go, if you're single guys and you're wanting to go to, some local place that might have some women there too, vice versa. And there's a couple of those gals that are trying to meet. Basically, if you have some single folk in that big group, you're trying to meet, bring a bride-to-be sash, or bring a grooms and pretend it's a bachelor party or a bachelorette party, because then you're going to get drinks bought for you. You're going to link up with some other people, and then and everybody's trying to so the single person has to wear the sash or the shirt or whatever that says that they're about to be married, because that's going to put a challenge in all the other people that are there as, oh, can I get this person? Could I be the last fling for them? And then that they don't know, boom. It's almost like not being ghosted, but catfished. But he's like, hey, I'm actually not engaged, and we're about to make out. So maybe you're my new boo. And then they think you're a psychopath, but they got.
That's a great idea. Not. And I feel if Corey was here, he would agree with me.
Corey,
down.
Yeah, maybe. But Corey tends to be like, well, no, actually, that's a good. He'd surprise you out of nowhere with something where it's like, oh, okay.
I just wanted to make it seem like he would agree with me.
Yeah, I know he would.
He's not here to defend himself, so
yeah. I think Corey'd be on my side. Okay, so Jared asks just us, have you ever been in a fist fight? And brother fights go without saying. Now, we've talked about brother fights, but have you ever been in a fist fight with anyone?
Yes.
Like, are you talking like 5th grade, like on the bus? Because that's what I'm talking about.
The last one that would really mean anything that I got in trouble for, besides just messing around, would have been in junior high.
Same thing?
Again, I got suspended for it. That was an actual fist fight.
With who? Mr. Rab.
Mr. Rab is the... I'll tell you what almost happened with Mr. Rab is when my dad came down.
He almost fought him.
He did, because he was pissed that I was getting in trouble for standing up for myself.
Wow.
Because I'm not the one that started it.
Who was it?
I don't know if I can say the name on here. This person could be still around Enumclaw. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's not anybody.
Was it?
I'll say his first name, Joey. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, okay. Hollenbeck, of course.
Why would it have been Hollenbeck?
Well, because that's the only Joey I know.
Well, exactly. It wasn't Joey Hollenbeck.
So when the night that we went out,
yes,
we ran into some friends of yours.
Yes.
James Klein.
Bruner.
Charles Broner. Who's the other guy? What was that guy? Drury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
Belton. Eric Belton.
I didn't know who. I've never met him until that night.
Well, my best friend growing up was Joe Belton, and that was his cousin. And I guess I had this same conversation with him, with this Eric guy, back at the Maple Valley Safeway when I worked there. And I was like, oh, Belton. Thank you, Mr. Belton. Oh, hey, do you know a Joe? And so we had the same. Was it Joe? Was Joe the guy? No, he left. He didn't beat you up in high school, middle school. But then I mentioned a few names that I knew because they graduated ahead of us, except for James Klein, who graduated with you, and they were like, oh yeah, that name, oh yeah, that guy was a real jerk. We all had that guy, so I can't say that guy's name. I don't say that guy's name either, but he did. It might be from an earlier episode. I had a sister on earlier on in Full Body Cast history. He pantsed me when he was a senior. I was a freshman. I hated the guy.
Yeah, no, those guys are a little bit ahead of me also.
Yeah. Anyway, so the guys that beat you up, what happened?
No, actually, I didn't get beat up. That's why I got in trouble for it.
So when you got your ass kicked, what happened? Like, so your dad came down there, brought some bandages, and bandaged you up, and said, "Who picked up my son?"
They actually wanted to give me 3-day in-school suspension.
ISS, yes.
Yeah, and my dad's like, if he has to be suspended for defending himself, then he will be at home, not at this school.
Wow.
But he was pissed. Him and Rab got into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you there? Were you witnessing it?
I heard it. I was sitting kind of like in the movies where you're sitting on the bench. There was like outside of Rab's office. My dad was in there talking to him, and then I got called in after that to deal with it.
Sounds kind of anticlimactic.
Well, it was.
Can you tell us how it started?
Because nothing happened. Mr. Rab wouldn't have been a vice principal anymore. He would have got his ass kicked.
Well, no, not that. I mean, for your fight.
Booyah.
Yeah.
For my fight?
Yeah. How'd that happen?
So I was in science class doing group partner project. Matter of fact, somebody might have did it. You made these little cars, like, with the rubber band cars that you make.
Yes.
Anyway, this guy didn't want to do anything. So the day of our presentation, I presented it and told Mr. Miller that he didn't do anything. So he failed him, and the guy was pissed.
And then what did he do? Like break a chair?
Came up and hit me in the back with a backpack. He took his backpack and hit me in the back.
And then what'd you do?
I turned around and hit him.
Like square in the jaw or like what?
He ended up with a bloody nose. It wasn't like a direct like knockout punch or anything.
But you got him good.
I did hit him, yeah.
Did it feel good to connect?
From what I remember.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good story, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I did get in a fight in college also, but I can't share that about the person, so there's no point. I'll just say I got it. I got it in another fight. That was about it. Those two are the only ones.
So you got your butt kicked on that other one.
I did not, but I can't share who it was with.
Oh, you don't have to. But did you get your butt kicked?
No.
A little bit?
It was back and forth.
Yeah.
I did put a hole in the apartment wall that we were in with my fist on one of the punches that missed.
What are you, just freaking the Hulk?
No, but I mean, it was one. But I'm saying that's what kind of fight it was. It wasn't just it was an all-out fight. So, which sucked, but you'd think because I'm such a smartass that I probably would have been in more.
I feel like you should have been,
but
more.
I haven't.
I
kind of cower after I pop off.
Yeah, I wrote a bus in Selleck that I learned really quickly where to draw a line.
Yeah,
but here's the one I didn't. This is I didn't really get in a fight. I got punched a few times. I was a freshman, I think. I was in 8th grade. I don't know if I probably told the story somewhere, but there was a girl that I thought was pretty hot, and I was talking to her.
And she hit you?
No.
Oh, okay.
But this other guy was kind of like horning into my action over here, and he was like talking to her too. Now this guy only rode the bus over so often. I put the work in every day. So when this guy shows up and starts talking to my gal, I'm like, whoa, pal, easy.
This is another Selleck guy?
Another Selleck guy. He would get mad. When he got mad, because I made fun of him a few times. Made fun of him. Hey, pal, come around here, talk to my gal. Anyway, his neck would get red, and then his cheeks would get red. His nose and his forehead would get red, and then we'd cool off and like kind of go down again, like the same way. I called him a thermometer head. Now, I thought it was hilarious.
He did not.
And I thought maybe I'd have to explain it to him because he was such an idiot. He knew immediately what I meant. Like, he probably has seen himself get mad, or maybe he's been made fun of about it. He stood up and just started wailing on, like, I had no reaction. Like, I took like 3 punches to the face and in the back of the head, and then I just held on for dear life with, covering myself. Cool thing about being in Selleck, though, when you got the homies with you grinding every day on that bus, is they hopped up and then they started just beating that kid up. And so that was nice.
So how would you react if somebody called you a thermometer head?
With more wit. I'd have to say something funny. I wouldn't just see, idiots just go to the punch.
That's a good scientific experiment. If you see Trav out in Enumclaw, just call him
thermometer head. I won't care because I'm not a thermometer head.
Well, now you got to come up with witty responses for each one. Here's
the other thing, though. I did push it too far one day. Didn't know what I was pushing. You don't know if you don't know. Rode the bus in Selleck again. I was popping off at this dude. This dude was the biggest idiot. Just the freaking dumbest, hickiest idiot kid you'd ever know. And he got...
So prime Selleck.
I didn't know all this. I mean, I didn't know that he was a hothead himself. I didn't know that he was like in and out of juvie. I had no clue that he didn't care about anything. He probably had a horrible life. And I feel bad about it now as an adult looking back at it. But he was also like 4 years older than me. And I like making fun of people and I like making people laugh. Especially, I was like the guy, I had a bunch of strong friends that were strong. Literally could beat you up. And so I would take liberty with, some of the outsiders that would stray through. I'd pop off at them a little bit. I needed to get punched in the face, basically. I needed to get socked in the mouth. But guy from your grade, I won't mention his name, he actually came over to my house, knocked on my door, because this guy was not my friend, but on the bus when I popped off at this guy, we were going back and forth for like 10, 20 minutes. And this guy was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to show up at your house. I'm going to freaking kill you. You better be home. And my parents are all working. I didn't think anything of it. People are always shouting at stuff. This homie of mine, last name, he probably, I mean, I'm sure you know of him, but he kind of didn't,
I didn't know a lot of people lived in Selleck.
Yeah, you'd be surprised by this one. I think you'd be surprised by this one.
Probably.
It's the last name is the let's just say it's the name of a basketball team. The last name is a basketball team name. Okay, so that's gonna give you something to chew on. I'll tell you afterwards. And any Patreon, I'll tell them the name. I'm not gonna advertise this. But if you're Patreon, hit me up. Go to Patreon, send me $5, and I'll tell you the name. But anyway, I'm like 6'9", baby. I'll snitch. I don't care. But anyway, I opened the door and he's standing there and he's like, "Hey man, is that guy come around here?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Dude, that guy was serious. Like I would be afraid. I'm afraid of that guy for you, and this guy could probably beat him up." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, that guy wants to kill you. Like, were you not there?" And I'm like, he's not going to do anything. You think? He's like, "No, man, he's going to do something to you." And he goes, I stole this out of my dad's sock drawer. And he in his waistband is a pistol. He's holding a pistol there. And this is, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is a made for TV movie right now. Like, this is where like we hold the gun and one of us shoots each other in the leg on accident, and then it's like gun safety. And I said, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "Take it, seriously, take it. The guy's he's gonna come for you." And I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm not worried about it. Don't worry about it." And he goes, "All right, I'm gonna hang out though." I said, "Do whatever you want. I don't care." So he sat in the bushes, like not in camo, but camouflage, sitting there for like an hour outside of my house.
And you guys became best friends after that?
Well, we were already good friends, but I'm like,
you're like best of best friends.
Well, we're best friends. Not anymore, bestie. I mean, we're still friends. He still calls me up every once in a while to golf, but so he's still local. He's still local. Figure that one out. But have you figured it out, you think?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
I lost interest.
All right, let's get to these scary Skelleys. See, this is great for women. Women got to hear a little bit of that. They're like, "Oh, wow." Got to hear some guys complaining about girls and what do girls do. And now it's like that manly, like, "Oh, you got punched in the face." I always thought if I got punched in the face, that would impress women.
Why?
I don't know. It's like a rugged thing.
Because you can take a punch?
Dude, I remember walking. Yes. I skinned my knee so bad on the second grade playground, and it was just oozing blood. And I walked through there like as a freaking badge of honor. And I even walked up to this girl that I liked. Her name was Jessie. And I'm like, "Hey, Jessie, see what happened to me at recess?" And she looked at my knee and she was like, "Ow, yeah." And I'm like, "It's nothing."
Didn't even go to the nurse's office.
No, I definitely went to the nurse's office after that. And I had probably tears, just dirty mud tears streaming down my face. All right. That was our first scary Skelly. Bigfoot, real or myth only? Bigfoot.
Myth.
Now, did you ever go hunting for Bigfoot back in the day?
No.
Did you? I had friends that loved Bigfoot, and they took us camping, and I think they made like fake feet and stamped it all around the cabin. But I came out of there thinking like, "Oh," in the morning, like, "Whoa." They're like, "Yeah, that's Bigfoot." So they made me believe it. Like, and I came home and told my parents, and they're like, "It's fake."
There's honest truth is there's a lot of people that believe that.
Yeah.
They're meant to have like Bigfoot clubs.
But wouldn't you see them like, just like you see a whale wash up wouldn't you found like a dead rotting Bigfoot?
Well, plus, I mean, what's Bigfoot, like 700
years old?
Yeah.
Is that how old they're supposed to be?
I'm just asking. I mean, how old is Bigfoot? How many years have people have been saying they've seen or heard of Bigfoot? Probably as long as we were old, right?
Yeah. True.
So I bet you go talk to your parents, your grandparents, they probably say the same thing. So how old would Bigfoot be? Is there more than one Bigfoot?
See, that's why I think it's fake.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, in my opinion, but I think that's true.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some freaking hairy people that kind of got ostracized by society and they lived out there.
Like 8'7"?
Not that big though. Ooh, check this out.
I am ready.
Here's a girl. I don't know if your wife like hacked Jared's account, but Women are starting to play in some lower level minor league baseball. Do you think eventually they will be on major league teams?
I would be all for it if they were good enough. 100%. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Just like, I wouldn't mind if, I might get some flack for this, but I wouldn't mind if a girl was a kicker like in college and played in the NFL. If she was willing to take a hit that anybody else would take and she could, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It doesn't. Yeah, it's to me.
I see it as a potential. I don't see it within the next 5 to 10 years, 20 years from now, maybe. But I would be okay with that.
Here's where I see it. Here's where I see a few things. I think you'll see it. I think you'll see them become coaches first. Possibly, you see that in the NFL, and then that kind of paves the way for a player to come on, and they hire a player. But I wouldn't be surprised if in 20 years the NFL is more touch football or flag football, and I wouldn't be surprised at that point if each team had to have at least two. And who knows what the genders are going to be like in 20 years, like non-binary or
without getting into it in too much PC. I'm assuming this question is female.
Okay,
just
yes,
women.
Says women.
Yeah. So we don't need to get into the rest of that stuff. But I'm just saying.
But I'm saying I think that at that point there's going to be some sort of like, hey, you need to have two on a roster because they want to grow the game. A. And B, it's including people, right? So I think you're going to see that within the next 20 years, and you may even see that on every sort of. I mean, WNBA is established, but you don't really have a women's football league that's popping at the moment. Baseball too,
but the WNBA is a perfect example, the closest that you have to it. And I honestly feel that if there was the best WNBA player could make an NBA team, personally, I'm not sure that there is that person out there right now. But if there was, because I know the WNBA,
you don't think Sue Bird or Cheryl Swoops or anything they could have ever at least rostered?
They could have rostered. I'm saying starting 5 NBA player, right?
Okay.
Could that be an option? I mean, there's been a lot of good WNBA players,
right?
And I don't even know if that would have ever been a possibility if they would have tried or did anything. But I see that happening. I could see that happening in basketball before a lot of the other sports because the WNBA has already been established.
Okay. I mean, I see that. I think that every time, every year is different. I think that if we fast forward 20 years but have Sue Bird, then I think she'd be on an NBA team. More than likely. 19 years in the league, Sue Bird. She's insane, man. That's incredible.
And still playing at pretty high level.
Yeah, she's great. That's impressive. If we don't have a Sue Bird like statue in Seattle, well, we may already have one. I don't know. I don't go to Seattle. But anyway, yes. Let's see what else we got going on here. Jared Skarey Skelleys says, let's see here. Got like 4 apps going. Okay, last question. Another female. I mean, I think she hacked his phone.
Let's go. Or Jared does ask female questions, though.
Yeah, that's true. He might be in trouble with his wife at this one. Maybe he's just asking for a reference.
I don't think that he would take anything that I said and apply it to.
No,
it would help his wife out.
I think he might play this for her.
I highly doubt that. Yeah.
How much money is too much money to spend without discussing it with your wife? That's the question. How much money is too much money
without
discussing it with your wife?
That's such a loaded question. Because it's weird, and I can honestly say this, and I don't know that I would spend any money without talking to my wife anyway. And I know that's that's just the dynamic that we have.
No, shut up. No.
100%.
Candy bar.
Well, so you're meaning like if I was going to go spend $5,000, he wants to know that limit that I would spend without talking to her?
Yeah.
I mean,
$50?
$100 maybe?
$100.
I mean, if I was out getting something that I needed and it was $120, I'd probably do it, not say anything. But most of the time, if it's a purchase that's somewhat a lot of money, we talk about it anyway. Or somebody already knows that they're going to do it.
Right.
Or I'm going to go get this, but I don't know the cost of it. But if it happens to be $300, they already know I'm buying. You know, she already knows I'm buying it. It doesn't matter.
But here's the thing. Do you have separate checking accounts?
No.
I do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jared does either. There's people out there that might be like, hey, I'm not going to tell my wife that I spent all this money.
Well, that's the thing. If you have a separate checking account, which obviously I don't,
right.
But if you have a separate checking account, I don't think there's any money that's too much. Spend the whole damn account. You shouldn't have to tell her anything if it's separate account.
That's a good point.
That's the easy answer, easy way out. But that's if you've already established that you have two separate accounts, there should be no explanation needed for what you're spending out of your own account.
Right. I agree. Except if you have to borrow because you spent money.
That's different though.
Yeah. You're like, hey, by the way, my checking account's a little bit light right now. Well, why? Well, because
then you put yourself
$400 at the Muckleshoot Casino.
Well, then you put yourself in that position.
Been there.
But if you're going to go spend $5,000 and you have $10,000 in your checking account, you shouldn't have to tell her anything.
Right. The other thing is like, my wife, she's my sugar mama. So when things show up on the freaking porch from Amazon, I'm not worried about it. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
Because you're the one ordering it?
Well, no, it's no, it's her. It's her. It's usually because it's flip-flops that she's ordering because my dog's chewed up all of them, and he just keeps chewing them up, so she buys some more. But yeah, so it's it's like, hey, I don't know if you guys ever heard a little song by Destiny's Child. Pay my bills, you can pay my telephone bills, or maybe we could just chill. I don't think you do. So you and me are through. Anyway,
I felt like I was there in a concert.
It does,
live.
Doesn't it? That's my Beyonce. Treyonce. It's you. Hey, how's Craig Tags going?
There's no such thing.
Yeah, it's Craig Tag. There is.
So but you didn't answer. What's your answer to Jared? I'd like to. You have separate checking accounts.
I don't tell my wife. Shh. No, I actually will out of guilt.
But after the fact?
Yeah. After the fact, and I'm like, hey. She goes, oh, it's usually casino losses. Where she's like, hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, how was the casino the other night? And I'll be like, yeah. Lost some money. Oh, yeah? How much? Huh. Don't you know we're going to go golfing soon? Don't you know we're going to go? Yeah, come on. But, this is what I saw this other day on Twitter. By the way, thanks for retweeting the Full Buddy After Hours.
Yeah.
You retweet a lot of our stuff.
I do.
And I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I'm not making fun of you.
I use Twitter more than I do any other.
Me too. But I'm a lurker on Twitter. I'll retweet a few things, but I hardly ever post my own stuff ever.
No.
I'm either retweeting or liking. Are you typing out like, man, had a burrito yesterday?
No, I don't do any of that on my own stuff. I'm mostly retweeting or doing that kind of stuff. Or answering. I do answer a lot of sports trivia stuff.
Oh, do you? See, I wish that would pop up in I'm always afraid to comment on Twitter because it'll pop up in people's feeds, right?
I don't know.
It does.
Oh, okay.
And because I've seen other people and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to answer this or even take a poll.
Yeah, I take polls.
I got to start following you.
I think you do.
Oh, no, I do, but I got to somehow click something that says, show me everything Craig does. Oh. Sounds fun.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not huge into a lot of social media. I probably click on, check Facebook, but everything that gets notified that you post all over the place.
Yeah.
But I use Twitter a lot. Like if I'm gonna sit and veg, or if people get on social media and see what's going on,
right?
I use Twitter.
Twitter fingers.
Yes. Me and Elon are
close. That's crazy too. I actually go to Twitter for most of my news. Like I'm like, I just want to see what's trending. What's this going on here? Oh, or I'll type in like Governor, Inslee. Oh, especially when we're doing the mask mandates and all that. Like, press conference. Okay, now I know.
Yeah, I follow like all the local news stations.
Yeah,
all the national news stations. Like every sports freaking thing. Sports writer, sports person.
Chris Egan. Do you follow Chris Egan?
I did. I saw it today.
Was that pretty funny?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
What was also funny as I'm moving, we're moving into it. We're gonna wrap this up, but for that Full Buddy Friday night, I had some friends come out that we've given code names for. Oh, you left and they showed up. You didn't see that yet. You hadn't seen them.
Well,
Don't say names.
I'm not, but I was there all the way until you guys decided to go to Cedars. So
no. But I'm talking about Mazatlan. Did I say Cole Street? I meant Mazatlan.
You just said out. You didn't say where.
Mazatlan. You eventually ran into
later.
Okay. Yeah. But there was one group that was there. I don't know if you ran into them because they went to Mazatlan and then I think they went to the Rainier. But he's got a code name on the mic on the mics. He's Burrito. And so he really hates that name, but it's because he had a frozen burrito. He was so hungry one night, he didn't even he bought it at a gas station and then just gnawed on it like a friggin' dog toy. and anyway, that was years ago. Well, Mike called him Burrito. So when we talk about him, so the funny thing was, like, hey guys, because we had Amanda Keating was there, Desi B, Shekinah Sarver. We had what's her name? She hasn't bought a hoodie yet. I can see her flipping face though. Anyway, and then Veronica was there. Gosh, what's that other lady's name? Anyway, there was another, and so he's like, by the way, I'm Burrito, and they're like, oh, you're Burrito. Oh, it's Burrito. Oh, I know who you are. And
nice.
And you could tell that he liked that. Nelson didn't like it so much as well. Anyway, it was weird going out. By the way, for all those people out there, it was weird going out there without my wife. Usually my wife's there, and here I am, and there was no other dudes.
You looked funny.
It felt weird.
Maybe don't. Me and Corey were there.
Yeah, but you guys were there with your freaking spouses and girlfriend and all that. Like I feel like I was part of like a book club that I'm like the only male and so
you had a glow to you. You liked it.
No, I didn't. You're getting me in trouble. I did not like it. But they're all going on a girls trip. They're all going to Vegas. And
that's what I heard.
Yeah, so I'm going to fly in for one night and hang out with them, but because I'm coming back from a golf trip, but it's going to, I don't know how they're going to complain about me. Full circle on this podcast. They're going to bitch. My wife's going to bitch about me to them. That's what I'm assuming.
We already talked about this. I know she will.
It's even to strangers on the airplane. Let me tell you about my husband for a moment. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. We're going to do shout outs real quick. I got a shout out, and then do you have yours, or are you wanting to for me to go?
Oh, it's up to you. I'm ready to roll.
Go. Roll.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to all the women.
Woo, girlfriend.
That are moms.
Oh, baby.
Because as you listen to this,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Coming up in a day or two after you hear this.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Couldn't do what I do without mine, and I couldn't do what I do without the mothers of my children as well. And their shout out to all of them.
There you go. See that?
It was good.
It was a great shout out.
It was a great shout out. I did piggyback on that one.
But made it better, though.
Made it better. This is our women's episode.
Yes.
That they're one. I'm going to shout out the Patreons, obviously. You read this. And we got a new one.
Ooh.
We got a new one.
For May?
For May.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Still keeping it alive.
I have to hit up the other person that's got that coffee going. I don't know. That window may have Closed. Who knows? Go. By the way, go to the Enumclaw Safeway and order a tea coffee latte at the Starbucks. Do it. Tag yourself in there. I want to blow them away with that we're gonna get so many people to buy that. Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Eric Madrid, Adam Kenny Art, Seth Loop, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson, Veronica Lara, Ben Illman, Jamie Roberts, Jamie Kenny, Apollo Doodle, Jackson Zoidhook, Sasha Carey, Russell Brandon, and Thomas Savago. I don't know. I should probably ask how I say his name.
Savana?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
There's no N in there, though.
I don't know.
Save. He's actually, here's the other thing. Shout out to Thomas as well. He's one of the owners at Bordeaux. He owns a business that I don't know exactly what they do. Desi B works there. He also owns Runlands. I got invited to watch the Mariners play May 25th at like 1 p.m. in a suite.
Nice.
Which is very nice. Jamie got invited, and I was like, oh, cool, because Desi's +1. And I was like, oh, cool. Hey, have fun. I haven't been posting about the Mariners every day. I guess I'm not a Mariner fan. And then I think I gave him the puppy dog eyes that Thomas was like, yeah, you go ahead and invite Travis too.
Nice.
So.
Well, we'll have to do a follow-up episode because I know this one's wrapped up.
Yeah.
But I saw one of his posts that was joking around about a bowling alley. And we've talked about how
we need a bowling.
I freaking want to own a bowling alley.
Oh.
If we haven't talked about it, I had an entire plan to run a bowling alley. I had to invest it. I actually had investors look at it probably 15 years ago. A bowling alley to me is an amazing opportunity. So if he could do that here in town, dude, I'll be his best friend. I will come help him any way I can.
Time out. Will you quit your current job?
I would say this right now. If it depended on how it turned out. I was at the time that I was doing this, I looked at it like I was going to run a bowling alley and that was going to be my entire life. Like legit, being dead honest. I've told numerous people over the years, you can ask a lot of people around here, that was like, you have your one thing that you want to do that seems funny to everybody else.
But it'd be awesome for you.
For me, it was to literally own and run a bowling alley.
All right.
I'm telling you, I did research like with Brunswick. I did research with like traveling leagues, how many sponsors you could get, how much money would come in, how much the bowling alley cost, how much balls, shoes, lanes, how much the maintenance people make to keep. Because really, you can run a bowling alley with people that except the people that work on the machines. Those are like people you'd have to go outside of your knowledge to find.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That's probably why not everyone owns a bowling alley.
Oh, probably not. I know we got off topic there, but I saw his comment, and that was a great comment. A bowling alley in this town would be the best thing that's happened in this town in a long time.
You're like, the best thing that happened to me. I mean, this town. Would you I'm going to ask this right now in case he's listening.
Sure.
Would you guarantee him 3 nights a week after work, your current job, that you would close the place down? Like you would be there.
Like I'm going to be the one working?
Yes.
I will not guarantee that on here because I don't know the situation I'm going to be in with the kids and everything, but I can tell you this right now. I would be a huge advocate and would be helping out any way I could.
So that means like running leagues. If he needs an emergency close up one night.
If I'm available, I would be there. Dude, I seriously, I love bowling and I love the idea behind it.
We found your passion.
It's been a passion for a long time.
You've talked more about this with a glimmer in your eye than anything else in your. This whole
a lot of people.
Podcast end game was just to find somebody possibly rich enough to invest into a bowling alley that you could be a part of.
I actually had a conversation. I should ask Corey. It probably was, like I said, 15 to 20 years ago. There was a guy that lived in Carbonado, pretty wealthier individual, and he actually was thinking about sitting down with us and going through portfolio that I had made to actually think about doing something like that. I'm serious.
You know what? Here, let me tell you. I don't know if I told you this one yet. Last thing I'm going to end with. My daughter Madden. She went bowling the other night.
Yeah.
For a date. Like, she's graduating this year. Her, it's all her boy and guy and girl group. Just like a couple of them drive now. So hey, Dad, we're gonna go. I think they went over to Sumner at that bowling alley over there.
Daffodil.
Yeah. And sorry, dude. Craig said that with such intensity. Like,
I know.
Like check. Yeah. 1745. Puyallup Lane Road. Yeah. Been there. Anyway, she came back. She's like, Dad, I'm so good at bowling. I'm so good. It's so much fun. I'm so good at it. I got a strike on my first time. I'm like, nice. That's actually really impressive. Like, she goes, I haven't gone bowling since I was like a kid with you guys. I'm like, yeah, Ocean Shores. You know that one?
Yes. Matter of fact.
What's that one called? Bowling Lane.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah. Okay. How about this one? Or she said, or the one in Chelan. Do you know that one?
I do not know that one. How about this though?
Well, you got your
how about the one in Yelm?
Fat.
it's a 2 or a 4-laner.
the only one you know.
I've been to a lot of bowling alleys.
A lot of them. So anyway, they said this though.
What was the oil pattern? Did she know? Was it a cheetah or a tiger pattern?
She said, I got a couple strikes, man. I did really well. I finished in the 100, like mid hundreds. I was like, dang, that's for your first time back. And
sure.
She goes, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, she goes, I wanted to do regular lanes, but he wanted to do bumper lanes, and I was like, okay.
This is a high school boy.
Yeah, this is a little less impressive that she got a strike off her first one with a bumper.
Oh, I'm still impressed by that. I'm not impressed by whoever she went out with that night.
Yeah, you would just be sitting there working, just spraying shoes, wiping ball, just mean mugging. I'm like, what are you? You graduating this year? You got freaking bumpers. It's a first grade birthday party bumpers, man. Anyway, well, we went a little extra long. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great week.
Adios.
And happy Mother's Day to all those ladies out there that are moms.